In this class, we are going to study diversity in living organisms. What is diversity in living organisms? In ocean, you just observe the organisms, aquatic organisms. You can find unicellular bacteria and also the huge animal, blue whale. Both are surviving in the same place, but still they are entirely different. One is unicellular and the other one is a huge animal. So this is variation among the animals. Even in the plants you can find more variations. You can find unicellular algae which grows in a moist place, and you can see the huge pine trees in Himalayan regions. So all these are the variations. These are nothing but a diversity. Diversity you come across both in plants and also in animals, from unicellular to the multicellular organisms. The great Greek thinker Aristotle, at the initial stage, he classified the organisms into two types, that is plants and animals. And again, he divided the animals into aquatic animals, terrestrial animals and aerial animals, and plants as herbs, shrubs and trees. But this classification is not sufficient in order to classify the organisms. And in order to classify the organisms, what is the basic thing we need? The basic thing which is very essential for classification is evolution. The evolution evidences are very essential to classify the organisms. It doesn't mean that the ancient organisms are primitive and the organisms present are more advanced. It doesn't mean. But evolution reveals that the organisms which are right now are surviving, they undergone many changes. Gradually they adapted for the environment and they are surviving. And many evidences came forward. In 1859, Darwin, in his book The Origin of Species, he explained very clearly with very good examples how the evolution is a supportive part for the classification. Right now, in this class, we are going to study the classification of Whittaker. The Whittaker, who gave 5 kingdom classification in 1959, and that is a solid theory we are adopting now and we are studying in deep. Whittaker classified the organisms based on 5 kingdoms. Kingdom Monera, Protista, Mycota, Plantae, Animalia. These are the 5 kingdoms. Monera is primitive, which comprise prokaryotes. And prokaryotes are the organisms where they lack true nucleus, they lack membrane bounded cell organelles, and the genetic material is naked. Protista, Mycota, Plantae, Animalia, these comprise eukaryotes. Eukaryotes are the organisms where they have true nucleus, membrane bounded cell organelles, and the genetic material is enclosed by nuclear membrane. And again, Plantae is divided as thallophyte, bryophyte, pteridophyte, gymnosperm and angiosperm. If you see at Animalia is divided as invertebrates and the other one is vertebrates. Invertebrates comprise Porifera, Coelenterata, Platyhelminthes, Aschelminthes or nematodes, Annelida, Arthropoda, Mollusca and Echinodermata. Vertebrates comprise species or fishes, amphibians, reptiles, aves or birds and mammals. These are about vertebrates and invertebrates under animals. This is Monera. Monera comprise prokaryotes. I said they lack true nucleus, membrane-bounded cell organelles, and nuclear membrane is absent. The mode of nutrition is both autotrophic and heterotrophic, and it includes bacteria, blue-green algae and cyanobacteria. This is the example for Monera, bacteria and cyanobacteria anabina. This is Protista, which comprise unicellular eukaryotic organisms. As I said, eukaryotes, they have true nucleus and the genetic material is surrounded by nuclear membrane. Some of the examples for Protista are algae, diatoms, protozoa, and in the diagram you can see protozoas like Euglena, amoeba and paramecium. These are protozoans. This is mycota or fungi, non-chlorophyllous plants, highly nutritious, example mushroom and yeast. They are made up of cell walls rich with chitin, and the fungus always undergo symbiotic relationship with algae to form lichens, and they adopt saprophytic mode of nutrition that depend on dead and decay matter. The next kingdom is Plantae, which comprise all green plants. The first one is Thallophyte, that is algae. You are seeing the picture of algae. The first example is Chara, Ulva, Spirogyra, Eulothrix, Cladophora. These are the algae which grows as thallophytes. They have thallus-like structure, a flattened body which grows at moist place. This is Bryophyta, amphibians of the plant kingdom. They possess stem and leaf-like structure, and the rhizoids are root-like structures to absorb the nutrients and water. They too grow at moist place. The few examples for Bryophyta are Rixia, Markensia, Funaria, and they show alternation of generation like gametophyte and sporophyte. These are pteridophytes, are otherwise called tracheophytes. They have xylem and phloem, where this is the first plant which has vascular tissue, differentiated as root, stem and leaves. Some of the examples are Marsilia, ferns, horsetails, etc. They too show alternation of generation, that is gametophyte and sporophyte, and they are usually called as cryptogams. These are gymnosperms, that means naked seed plants. The seeds are open. It is not enclosed by fruits. They are evergreen woody plants, and some of the examples are cycas, pines. They are grown as decorative purpose because they are evergreen. The reproductive structures are called cones. These are angiosperms. They are always enclosed by the fruit. The seed are enclosed by the fruit. And the plant embryos in seeds have cotyledons, and if they have a single cotyledon, then it is called monocots, and if they have two cotyledons, then it is called dicots. Angiosperms are flowering plants. The next is Animalia, under that Porifera. Porifera means the body is covered with pores. They are usually marine and they are attached to the substrate. They attach to the stones or some other animals. They have canal system, helps in circulating water throughout the body to bring food and oxygen inside the body. And it is covered with hard outside layer or skeleton. The other group is Coelenterata. They are mainly made up of two layers of cells, and they exist as solitary like hydra or jellyfish, and even they occur as colonies like corals. Sea anemone, jellyfish, hydra are the example for coelentrates. They are having more complex body structure. They show bilateral symmetry, and it is mainly made up of three layers, hence they are called triploblastic. They possess well developed organs, and they show organ system of grade, and they are having a flat worms, hence Platyhelminthes. They are free living animals like Planaria and parasitic like liver fluke. This is Aschelminthes or nematodes. They show bilateral symmetry and they are triploblastic, and they show cylindrical body structure, but they have tissue, no real organs. They are parasitic worms causing diseases like elephantiasis by filarial worms, and also intestinal problems. This is Annelida, shows segmentation. They are bilaterally symmetry and triploblastic. They show well organ system. The animals are found in variety of habitats like freshwater, marine, even on the land. Example: earthworms, leeches. Annelids, earthworms are called friends of the farmer. Arthropoda is the largest group of animals. They show bilateral symmetry and segmentation. They have open circulatory system, and the coelomic cavity is blood filled, and they have jointed legs. And the examples are prawns, butterflies, houseflies, spiders, scorpions, crabs. This belongs to the Arthropoda. This is the largest phylum among the animals. A smooth body structured animals are molluscans. The mollusca shows bilateral symmetry. The coelomic cavity is completely reduced and a little segmentation is found, and they have open circulatory system, and kidney like organs are found for excretion. There is a foot and seta used for movement. Examples are snails and mussels. Echinodermata, which has spiny skin, exclusively free living marine animals. They are triploblastic and have coelomic cavity, and they have peculiar water driven tube system and helps in movement too. They have hard calcium carbonate structures and they form a skeleton. The examples are starfish, sea urchin. These are protocardates. They have notocard, is a rod supporting structure, and it is present throughout their life stages. And some of the examples are Balanoglossus, Herdmania, and Amphioxus. Vertebrates will have notocard, dorsal nerve cord, and paired gill pouches. Under that, fishes or pisces. These are cold-blooded animals, aquatic animals. Skin is covered by scales, and the movement is by fins. And they lay eggs, and hence they are oviparous. And they are made up of cartilage, bone. Examples: sharks, some made up by bones, and they are tuna or rohu. They possess two-chambered heart, and they are cold-blooded because their body temperature changes according to the environment. Hence they are called cold-blooded animals. These are amphibians. They found both in water and on the land. They possess mucus glands in their skin, helps in respiration. In the early stage, larva stage, they respire by the gills and later they respire by the lungs. They possess 3-chambered heart and they lay eggs and the fertilization is external. Example, frogs, toads, salamanders. These are reptiles. They are cold-blooded animals and they respire by the lungs. They too have 3-chambered heart except crocodile. They lay eggs and the fertilization is internal, development is external. Examples are snakes, turtles, lizards, crocodiles. They are quite poisonous. This is aves or birds. They are warm-blooded animals. They have 4-chambered heart. They lay eggs and the body is covered by feathers. They fly by wings. They breathe through the lungs. And the birds like ostrich, pigeon, sparrow, crow, kiwi, flightless bird, ostrich, flightless bird. These are mammals, warm-blooded animals. They too have 4-chambered heart. They have mammary glands for the production of milk to nourish their young ones. Many of the mammals are gives rise to young ones except platypus and echidna. They are egg-laying mammals. The kangaroos are pouched animals. They have pouch to carry their young ones. The bats are the flying mammals. So the mammals are having a specialized feature like parental care. More parental care is found in mammals. Their skin has hairs as well as sweat and oil glands. Usually the mammal's body is covered with hair and they are highly intellectual.